I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
Ladies and gentlemen, I once again welcome each and every cherished viewer to another amusing edition of Manual TV Sports Channel's daily update. And quickly, let's check out the prefaces of today's stories. As you all know, the 2025 summer transfer window is hotting up, and several Black Stars players are making their headlines in Europe, with some key players being subjects of interest to some clubs in Europe. And I'll talk from the camp of the star boy, Mohammed Kudus. As reported on Manual TV Sports and other social media platforms, it has now been confirmed that Thomas Tag-Partey is set to depart Arsenal for another club, and I will extensively talk from his camp. I will talk from the camps of Christopher Bambunsu, NS Arsenal-Kamaldeen Sulemana, and end my presentation from the camp of Ghana's senior women national team, the Black Queens of Ghana, as their journal for the 2025 WAFCON tournament in Morocco. They had their second pre-WAFCON friendly today against Benin, and it was very interesting. Ghana broke the virginity of the game. Benin came back to equalize and added another one. Ghana added as many as we can goals to what we've already scored, and I'll give you the comprehensive insights of this interesting game. But before you proceed with the details of the stories, if you are new on this platform, as usual, let's quickly do it together. Subscribe to the channel, hit on the post notification bell for more updates. Don't forget to like the video and share to other social media platforms. You can follow Manual TV Sports both on Facebook and TikTok. Leave your decent comments in the comment box for special shoutouts at the end of my presentation. And let's delve into the intricacies of the stories. To start with is the camp of Black Stars and Olympic Lyon forward NS Arsenal. It's quite pathetic and unfortunate to talk about this, but let me give you the vivid description of what is surrounding his club side, Olympic Lyon. Per the official communique from the French media is that Olympic Lyon has been relegated from the French League 1 to French League 2, and this is what's happened. As reported to you early November last year, that is early November 2024, on this platform, that his club side, Olympic Lyon, has been placed under what we call provisional relegation ban, meaning they need to improve their financial situation in order for this ban to be taken out from them, but they didn't meet the requirements. And of course, they've been relegated from the French League M to French League 2. And this drop is not as a result of performance related, but as a result of serious financial predicaments of the club side. And per the report that I have, the club's debt is over 500 million euros, which is quite interesting to see this amount of money as a debt to a club like Olympic Lyon. The officer or the owner of the club side, John Testa, who is the owner of Eagle Football, that oversee Club Olympic Lyon and other clubs in Europe, are trying to do whatever they can in order to improve their financial situation. He has even sold the stake of Crystal Palace and Olympic Lyon human side, but nothing has happened. He has proven himself as many as he can by pulling out financial levers in order to lure the financial situation of what they've been through, but still they've all proven futile, which is not exciting. This is where the French financial football watchdog, that is the DNCG, has to come inside to relegate French League 1 outfits, Olympic Lyon. And as you all know, they've even qualified for European competition, God willing, the subsequent season, that is the 2025-2026 season. And if this is to happen, meaning their slots will be given to another club side, and they are in to appeal the situation. As to whether it will work out or not, as you know, it's 50-50. And let's see how things will go. And according to other reports that I have, one of their sides have come out with this vivid letter. And let's read this out together for you to know the next step for Olympic Lyon surrounding this situation. The reason why I've gotten time to explain everything validly and vividly for you is that our interest is about NS Arsenal. What will be his future with the club side if they are going to French League 2? And this is a perfect opportunity for him to find another club, because we are in the summer transfer window and it is open for any other club to come for NS Arsenal and other players in Olympic Lyon. But let's have a glance of what this side of Olympic Lyon has to say about the whole brouhaha. They started by saying Olympic Lyonnais acknowledges the incomprehensible decision rendered by the DNCG tonight and confirms that it will immediately file an appeal, meaning they will appeal the situation. In recent months, we have worked closely with the DNCG, satisfying all of its requests with cash equity investments exceeding the amount requested. Thanks to the equity contributions of our shareholders and the sale of Crystal Palace, our cash position has improved significantly and we have more than sufficient resources for the 2025-2026 season. With so much cash liquidity demonstrated and sporting success, which has earned European competition in 2 consecutive years, we sincerely do not understand how one administrative decision could relegate such a great French club. Through our appeal, we will establish our substantial cash resources as necessary for Olympic Lyonnais to keep its place in League 1. So meaning they are going to fire on all cylinders to get Olympic Lyonnais back into the French League 1. And that is it. They've given you the comprehensive insight of everything. What the club is going to do next. I've explained everything through the glance of what you had on our screens. Let me proceed with the latest transfer stories surrounding some Black Stars players. But before I do that, let me also apologize for not having a full glare of me. There is inadvertent lighthouse and I have to apologize for this inconvenience. To start the latest transfer stories is a camp of Kamaldeen Sulemana. Multiple reports from Italy suggest that Kamaldeen Sulemana is on the verge of joining Atalanta-Calcio, which is a piece of good news for Kamaldeen Sulemana to revitalize his football career. I have spoken voluminously about the latest transfer deals for Kamaldeen Sulemana, where he emerged as a subject of interest for various European clubs. I spoke about Ajax, Trabzonspor, Genoa, Atalanta-Calcio, and others. But with the latest reports coming in, he is closing in on a deal of joining Atalanta-Calcio. As reported earlier on this platform, Atalanta-Calcio offered a formal bid that was rejected by Southampton. After the rebirth, they needed to improve the bid. The first one was around £10 million for the services of Kamaldeen Sulemana, and the second one is around £15 million, of which they are in the final talk stages to lure for the services of Kamaldeen Sulemana. Let's hope for the best because it's a good deal for Kamaldeen Sulemana. He will be featuring in the UEFA Champions League next season for Atalanta-Calcio, of which is going to have a great impact in the Black Stars of Ghana's team. So that is the latest from Kamaldeen Sulemana's camp. Looking at his performances last season for Southampton in the EPL, 26 games, 1 goal and assist. It's not enough for a player of his caliber. And this is the time he needs to have a renaissance football career path. And that is that from the camp of Kamaldeen Sulemana. Let me proceed from the camp of the star boy, Mohammed Kudus. A lot of reports and news is coming from his camp. I've given you multiple reports about his latest transfer deals, but the latest one from the Clients and Hughes tabloid through West Ham Central is that West Ham United have set new price tag for Mohammed Kudus release clause. Initially, as you know, Kudus have 3 release clauses. The first one is £85 million for clubs in England and £80 million for clubs in Europe, same as £120 million for clubs in the Middle East, including Saudi Arabian clubs. But per the reports coming in, the minimum amount West Ham United can take from any other club, wherever the club is in the world, is to pay £65 million for the services of Mohammed Kudus. And let's look at the possible outcome. With a possible outcome, Mohammed Kudus will most likely join any other club that comes in at first for his service. That is, any club that meets the price tag from West Ham United or the asking price. That is the latest come in. But the annoying parts of all these transfer brouhaha surrounding Mohammed Kudus is that all the clubs that are showing interest in the star boy are not making any serious offer That is the latest coming in. They are now tie kickers. When I talk about tie kickers, they are just looking at this, but they don't have the real intent to buy or purchase for the services of Mohammed Kudus or get a signature. That is the annoying part of all the transfer deals surrounding the star boy Mohammed Kudus. I've spoken about Chelsea Football Club. They are the only club who came in for a bid. That is a formal bid. That is a cash price and a player offer. It didn't work. They are not coming again. Newcastle United are still contemplating. They like the services of Mohammed Kudus, but they don't know how to go in with a formal bid. Arsenal, the same thing. Tottenham Hotspur, all the clubs that I've mentioned are being linked with Mohammed Kudus. They've not shown any serious interest as in going in with a formal bid. That is the latest coming in. And let's have a full glare of what West Ham Central, True Claret and Hughes Tabloids have to report about the star boy Mohammed Kudus. West Ham will want at least £65 million for Mohammed Kudus, and the reality is he will probably go to whichever club stamps up the fans first. I've explained thoroughly. And with a comprehensive insight from my explanation, this is how they proceeded. Unfortunately, all the irons seem to be attracting so far are tie kickers. That is what I say. They are tire kickers. They are just looking at it clear, having a full glare, but they are not interested. And it's quite amazing. Okay, let me end with how they needed to talk about the star boy Mohammed Kudus. It's so unclear whether any interested clubs are truly serious. I've spoken about them, and that is it from the camp of the star boy. And with my further research, reports coming in again is that West Ham United have set dates for some players to depart the team, including the star boy Mohammed Kudus. These are 3 players, and the 3 players are, as mentioned, the star boy Mohammed Kudus, Lucas Paqueta, same as Edson Alvarez. They need to leave the club because now West Ham United is a relegation threatened team. And if that doesn't happen, meaning they are going into the championship, they have to improve their financial situation. And this is the time some key players have to go in order for them to get an amount of money to reinvest and strengthen their squad list for the upcoming seasons. And even if these players cannot go or any other club is not coming, the financiers at West Ham United have to facilitate these moves. That is the latest coming. So coming days in the transfer markets will be very amazing, interesting to know more about the star boy Mohammed Kudus and the latest deals surrounding some Black Stars and Ghanaian players. Let me end the transfer stories from the camp of Thomas Tag-Partey. As reported on Manual TV Sports and other social media platforms, it has now been confirmed that Thomas Tag-Partey is set to depart Arsenal for any other club. Is set, meaning it is not mandatory or it is not official or it's not at the final stage. The probability of it happening is high, and that is the latest coming in. Through the transfer guru, Fabrizio Romano, and I've given you a comprehensive insight of why Thomas Tag-Partey will not stay at Arsenal if they don't improve his financial status. For now, Thomas Tag-Partey is demanding for salary increments, of which Arsenal wants to be redundant or nonchalant. They are just living unconcerned. They said, this is what the amount you have. We've given you what we think is a competitive contract based on your status and your value at the club. With the club's current situation, this is the amount of money Thomas Tag-Partey Arsenal can offer. If you can't, just leave it there. We can get a replacement for you, of which they are planning for Thomas Tag-Partey's replacement. Meaning Arsenal is planning life without Thomas Tag-Partey, and they've contacted Brentford for their midfielder, Christian Nugent. That is the latest reports coming in. This was through the transfer guru, Fabrizio Romano. And let's have a full glare of what he has to say with regards to Thomas Tag-Partey set to leave Arsenal, the Gunners. Thomas Partey is set to leave Arsenal as free agent at the end of the month. Story from last week confirmed, of course. Arsenal Football Club have already activated options to replace Thomas Partey, with knockout talks ongoing with Brentford, meaning they've opened talks with Brentford for Christian Nugent. That is the latest from the camp of Thomas Partey. And to me, if Partey is leaving Arsenal as a free agent, meaning any other club that has shown interest in Thomas Partey is going to give him huge amounts of money. If there's nothing around the clock, Thomas Partey will not decide to leave Arsenal. And if he's going as a free agent, meaning when you're a club and coming for his services, you don't need to pay any amount of money to Arsenal. What you just need to do is to lure Thomas Partey. Partey, let's disburse this amount of money. At the end of every month, this amount of money any other club of us can pay to you. Are you okay? Yes, I'm okay. Let's sit down, sign contract, get my signature. I will feature in the midfield for you. I'm a workaholic midfielder and I can do everything to the maximum satisfaction of your fans. And Thomas Partey has been linked with clubs like AC Milan, and I think they can press you for his signature. Same as Fenerbahce and other clubs that might look for the interest of Thomas Partey. That is the latest coming in from the camp of Black Stars and Arsenal workaholic midfielder Thomas Partey. Let me end the transfer presentation from the camp of Christopher Bambunsu. This is the very first time I'm talking about his transfer deal. I've just waited to see how things are happening. Of course, it's really going through. Christopher Bambunsu has departed Ghana to Saudi Arabia to sign for Al-Qassia. That is the latest reports coming in. And it is believed to be around 15 to 17 million euros. That is the latest coming in. I know a lot of people are quite perplexed about the whole situation, but that is a transfer due. But take it from this channel that the possibility of the club Al-Qassia giving out Christopher Bambunsu to any other club in Europe on loan is high. That is a new deal that they are doing. They are having this aggressive recruitment and they are in for the qualities. If they come in and they get the qualities, they'll be giving them out. That is what I know for now. But let's see how the thing will be happening with respect to Christopher Bambunsu. Initially, they came in for Jerry Effiye, and you've seen Jerry Effiye on loan with CD Logo. His loan has ended. Now he has returned to Al-Qassia. He might also go out again. And if everything is done through his medical and contract signing, it will be 4 years. After everything, he needs to move from Saudi Arabia to Netherlands to join the new signees before they come back to Saudi Arabia for their pre-season. That is the latest coming in. So when he's done with everything, he has to move to Netherlands before coming to Saudi Arabia. That is the latest from the camp of Christopher Bambunsu. Let me end my presentation from the camp of the Black Queens of Ghana. They had an exciting game, interesting one against Benin senior women national team. Initially, in the first of our pre-WAFCON friendlies, we annihilated Malawi by 3-1. This time around, we obliterated Benin by 4-2. Ghana broke the virginity of the game. They came back to equalize and added another goal, of which after recess, we came back to have the equalizer, making it 2-2. Then we added 2 more goals, of which is exciting to see the Black Queens of Ghana excelling in friendly matches like this before the continental showcase. So far, so good. I don't have footages of the game, and as it is, that is it. You know, these matches are crucial matches for the technical teams, and this is the time they have to focus on their physical strategy, same as their preparations, in order to get team cohesion or build up a good one indeed. So when it happens this way, we just do apologize for not giving you out the footages. But let's go through what we have on our table. The starting 11 of the team, the goalkeeper was Kerry McCarthy, with Portia Boate being the captain, Susan Amadria, Nina Noshi, Comfort Yabua, Nancy Amo, Jennifer Kuju, Chantel Hoka, she's called today for the Black Queens, Ifatu Sumaila, Princess Mafu, Doris Buadia. These were the first players to feature for the Black Queens of Ghana against Benin. Nina Noshi with the first goal, that was back flick for the Black Queens on the 4th minute. They came in on the 11th minute to have the equalizer. On the 32nd minute, Benin added the second goal through a sporting, that was a penalty kick against the Black Queens of Ghana. So just after the 45 minutes of the game, that is the first department of the game, Benin was leading Ghana by 2 goals to 1. In the second half, or after recess, 10 minutes after recess, that is on the 55th minute, Alex Kusi got the equalizer for the Black Queens against Benin. And on the 70th minute, Susan Amaduya got the third goal, making it 3 goals to 2 for the Black Queens. And on the 81st minute, as posted on their Twitter page, Chantel had the fourth goal for the Black Queens of Ghana, and that was it against Benin senior women national team. We are hoping for the very best as they are training up for their 2025 WAFCON tournament in Morocco, which is scheduled to take place in Morocco from the 5th to the 26th of July 2025. We do apologize for not giving you this content on time, but that is how it is. And we also apologize for not giving you the excerpts or the footages of the game, because these clips are very difficult to get by, and that is it. And as you've seen, with every sound quality and everything, we do apologize. There was inadvertent light out, as I have already explained. So we do apologize for anything that you are not okay. Subsequently, you will improve on it and come back with the good and authentic players that you used to know Manual TV Sports for. As usual, I was being supported by my hardworking chief editor, Emmanuel Kwame Asiedu, and my amazing graphic designer, Dominic. Until you meet again subsequently, I will give you special shout outs. As a Frenchman will say, au revoir.